Welcome back. Hopefully you guys are all ready for this next section, which is 9.3, using samples and populations to collect data. So again, a lot of writing, a lot of reading in this section. It is kind of our language arts section of math that will carry over into high school, especially when it goes into sciences and social studies. So 9.3 is using samples and populations. So you should be able to select and defend the choice of using either a population or a sample of a population to answer a question. So there's two vocabulary words that you need to know. So when collecting data, the population is the group about which you are getting information. So the population is who it is about. Okay? Everybody that it applies to would be the population. So if I wanted to know students' favorite food in the cafeteria at Reset, my population is every student that is in Reset. Whereas if I wanted to know a question like, what is the best subject for students in Alberta, then my population is all students in Alberta. So a census is conducted when data is collected from each member of the population. So census means everybody is being asked. And now that everybody is everybody that the problem or question directly applies to is being asked. So sometimes the town and stuff will do a census, how many people live in your house, or how much do you pay on taxes, or what is happening. Now they're not going to be coming necessarily to you to ask that question, but they will come to like one person in each household, or they will be coming to the adults, or they will be coming to the people that actually have to pay the taxes, because that is the population involved. So an example here for you, if you are testing game consoles made in a factory for defects, then all the game consoles are the population. And if you test every game console in the entire place, you have conducted a census because you checked everything. A census is costly and time-consuming. So often data is collected from a small portion or a sample of the population. Okay, so this is our important word here. A sample is when we only take a part of the population that is involved. When the sample chosen properly represents the population, the data collected will provide valid conclusions. So if it is a good sample, it will be valid. Okay, I want to know the favorite food in the cafeteria at Reset, but I don't have time to go to everyone's house because you're not here to ask you. Instead, I could probably choose like 10 kids from each class and ask them and use those 10 students for each class to represent the school. Okay, if I only chose one person for each class, that wouldn't be a very good sample because it wouldn't show enough. So care must be taken when choosing the sample size. If the sample is too large, collecting the data will cost a lot of money and take a long time. If it is too small, it may not represent the population. So here's an example. In each case, explain why a population was surveyed instead of a sample. So to determine the average number of siblings of his classmates, Carlos surveyed each person in the class. Well, Carlos knows that surveying the entire population will produce exact results rather than estimates. And if you think about how many students are in a class, some of our students, I guess, range from 12 to 30 or 34, I believe. That isn't too many people that you can ask. That is within the limits that is acceptable. For B, every 5 years, Statistics Canada conducts a census. One question in the survey is used to determine the ages of the people in each household. So a census is completed because of the importance of the question. The government requires data about the ages of Canadians so that it can budget for services such as daycare centers, schools, and senior citizens' homes. Make sure there's enough place for everybody, make sure the schools are large enough, there's enough staff, there's enough funding. Okay, lots of different things have an impact on this. So because it is such an important question that carries a lot of weight, they still need to do a census and ask everybody. Example number 2, let's just hide some of our work here. In each case, identify if data were collected from a sample or a population. A province considers banning cell phones in all of its schools. To determine the opinions of students on this issue, you poll each student in your school. Is that a sample or a population? It is a sample. The population is all the students of all the schools in the entire province. B. To determine which politician is expected to win the municipal election, every person over 18 and who is eligible to vote in the election is polled. That is a population because everybody who is an eligible voter was asked. To determine the average lifetime of a type of light bulb, 150 light bulbs were selected randomly from the production line and tested. That would be a sample because not all the light bulbs were tested. Okay, so I hope this makes sense to you. Again, for a lot of what you're going to be doing, you might have to actually explain yourself, why, defend. Make sure that you are trying to use proper sentences, good structure, capitals, punctuation, and practice defending your opinion. Have a great day.